Every morning, the second you wake up, the world is already trying to control you. Notifications, emails, opinions, the noise of people telling you who you are and what you should do. If you don't take charge of your own mind first thing in the morning, the world will do it for you, and it will break you down. Today, I'm going to show you how to stop being a slave to the world and start becoming the master of your own mind. Listen, I'm not here to sugarcoat anything. Most of you are walking around like zombies. Your mind already hijacked before your feet even hit the ground. You roll over, grab your phone, and boom, you're already reacting to life instead of owning it. That's a weakness. And weakness compounds. If you don't train your mind before the world trains it for you, you'll spend your whole damn life being a puppet. I'm here to tell you the truth. The strongest weapon you've got is your mind. And if you don't sharpen it, if you don't toughen it, then you will lose. Period. The second your eyes open in the morning, before you even step out of bed, the war has already started. And I'm not talking about the war with the world, with your boss, with the bills, or with the people around you. I'm talking about the war inside your own head. The moment you wake up, your mind starts whispering. It tells you to hit snooze, to rest 5 more minutes, to take it easy because you deserve it. That voice is your first enemy. That's the battlefield most people don't even see, and that's why they lose before the day has even begun. Most people don't understand this. They think life breaks them later in the day, when work piles up, when stress hits, when problems knock on their door. But the truth is, they already surrendered when they let their mind dictate their first move. The mind is not your friend by default. It's your greatest opponent. It's programmed to seek comfort, to avoid struggle, to keep you in the smallest, weakest version of yourself. And if you don't train it, if you don't control it, that voice owns you. Look around you. How many people do you know who live on autopilot? They wake up, check their phone, scroll through someone else's life, and before they've even brushed their teeth, their brain has been trained by the world. They're reacting, not creating. They're consuming, not leading. Their minds are already flooded with noise that doesn't belong to them. Opinions, distractions, negativity. And then they wonder why they feel anxious, why they feel weak, why they feel lost. It's because they lost the battle they never even knew they were fighting. This battlefield isn't loud. It's silent. It's in that moment when you're lying in bed and you know you should get up, but every fiber of your body says, stay down. It's in that instant when you should run, but your mind says, it's too cold, it's too early, it's too hard. It's when you know you need to push yourself, but that voice convinces you that tomorrow will be better. That's the battle. And if you give in there, you don't just lose the morning. You lose the entire day. Training your mind means recognizing that voice and deciding to fight it every single morning. You don't argue with it. You don't negotiate with it, because the mind will always try to find the easy way out. You shut it down with action. You get up when it tells you to stay down. You move when it tells you to rest. You prove to yourself, first thing in the morning, that you are stronger than the lies your mind tries to sell you. People think strength is about muscles, about running miles, about lifting weights. No. Strength starts in the mind. The strongest people in the world are not the ones who never feel weak. It's the ones who hear that same voice telling them to quit, but they stand up anyway. They train their mind to obey them, not the other way around. You got to see the morning for what it really is. It's not just the start of another day. It's the arena. It's where you fight your first opponent, your weaker self. And the beauty of this battle is that if you win it early, the rest of the day bends in your favor. You walk into work stronger. You face problems with clarity. You don't get shaken by every little distraction because you've already proven, before the sun even came up, that you are in control. Every morning is a test, and most people fail it without even knowing they're being tested. They let their mind run wild. They let fear, doubt, laziness take over. And here's the truth. You can't outrun that. You can't hide from it. If you lose the battle in your head, you'll lose in the gym, you'll lose at work, you'll lose in your relationships, you'll lose in life. That's why the battlefield of the mind is the most important place you'll ever step foot on. And it happens every single day, the second you wake up. You can choose to let your mind control you, or you can choose to control your mind. But make no mistake, if you don't train it, if you don't fight it, the world will. And the world doesn't care about your potential, your dreams, or your goals. The world wants to break you down and use you as fuel for someone else's machine. That's why the first battle you fight every day has to be against yourself. Because if you win there, you give yourself the chance to win everywhere else. Comfort is the biggest lie we've all been sold. The world tells you comfort is the goal, get the nice bed, the soft couch, the easy job, the convenient food, the shortcut, the hack, the app that does the work for you. And people eat it up. But here's the truth. Comfort is the cage that keeps you small. Comfort makes you weak, soft, and dependent. Every second you choose comfort, you're letting your mind rot. You're letting discipline die. The reason so many people are stuck in the same cycle. Wake up tired, drag through the day, hate their job, binge on distractions, repeat, is because they've built their lives around comfort. They think comfort will give them happiness, but what it really gives them is emptiness. That's why people who live for comfort are never satisfied. They're always looking for more comfort, more pleasure, more distraction, because deep down they know they're avoiding the one thing that could actually set them free: discipline. Discipline is what separates the strong from the weak, the leaders from the followers, the uncommon from the common. Discipline is the ability to say, I don't care how I feel. I don't care what the world tells me. I don't care what excuses are screaming inside my head. I will do what needs to be done. That's where real freedom comes from. Not from comfort, not from pleasure, not from making life easy, but from building the strength to do the hard thing when everything in you wants to quit. And let's be real, nobody wakes up naturally disciplined. Nobody is born loving pain. Discipline is forged in the fire of repetition, in the grind, in doing the thing you don't want to do so many times that it becomes who you are. You think Navy SEALs, elite athletes, warriors, entrepreneurs, they all just wake up motivated every day. No, motivation is nothing. Motivation disappears when you're tired, when you're stressed, when life hits you in the mouth. Discipline is what keeps you moving when motivation is dead. Discipline is what pulls you out of bed at 4 a.m. when the only thing your body wants is to stay under the covers. The problem with comfort is that it disguises itself as kindness. You tell yourself, I deserve to rest. I deserve to eat this. I deserve to skip today. That's not kindness. That's sabotage. That's your mind tricking you into staying weak. Comfort feels good in the moment, but it leaves you feeling guilty, ashamed, and soft afterward. Discipline feels brutal in the moment, but it leaves you with strength, confidence, and power that no one can take away. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you win a piece of yourself back. You earn respect from the only person who really matters, you. And that's something most people will never understand because they've never truly felt it. They've never pushed past their comfort zone long enough to feel the pride of doing what they didn't want to do. That's why they stay addicted to comfort, chasing the next hit of easy, like a drug, never realizing it's the very thing destroying them. When you live with discipline, you start seeing the world differently. While others complain about how hard something is, you see opportunity. While others run from challenges, you run toward them. While others waste their mornings, you own yours. And it's not because life suddenly got easier. It's because you built the discipline to stop waiting for easy. Think about it. Every major change in history, every breakthrough, every great achievement was built on someone choosing discipline over comfort. Soldiers who trained in the dirt, leaders who worked when everyone else was asleep, athletes who ran when their bodies were broken. None of them got there by chasing comfort. They got there because they refused to bow to it. The danger is that the world is built to keep you comfortable. Companies, media, society, they all want you to be soft, lazy, distracted. Why? Because a weak, comfortable person is easy to control, easy to sell, to easy to keep in place. But a disciplined person is dangerous. A disciplined person doesn't fall for the trap. A disciplined person builds their own life on their own terms. You have to ask yourself, which life do you want? The life where you give in every time your body says, I'm tired, I'm hungry, I don't feel like it. Or the life where you decide, no matter how I feel, I'm going to act with discipline. Because here's the raw truth. Discipline will hurt you, but it will shape you. Comfort will soothe you, but it will break you. That's why the real training isn't about how much weight you can lift or how many miles you can run. It's about how many times you can choose discipline over comfort. How many times you can silence that weak voice inside your head and do the damn thing anyway. That's where greatness lies. That's where transformation happens. And most people will never taste it because they're too in love with being comfortable. Life isn't polite. It doesn't knock on your door and say, excuse me, are you ready for some adversity today? No, it kicks that door down and drags you through the mud, whether you're prepared or not. And here's the truth. Most people crumble because they never built the mental armor to withstand it. They spent their lives avoiding discomfort, praying for things to be easy. And when life finally hits them, and they're shattered. They can't take the blow. They fold. They quit. Mental armor is what separates the people who get destroyed by life from the people who rise through it. And that armor isn't built in the easy times. You don't forge steel in lukewarm water. You forge it in fire. You don't build toughness when everything is smooth. You build it when everything is falling apart and you still refuse to break. That's why you have to start training your mind every single day. Because if you don't, the world will do it for you, and the world will not train you with kindness. The way most people live, their minds are fragile. Every insult, every failure, every setback cuts them open. They carry wounds from words. They carry scars from opinions. They get crushed by rejection, and they wonder why they can't move forward. The answer is simple. Their mind has no protection. They've been feeding it weakness instead of strength. They've been giving it comfort instead of challenge. And a mind like that will collapse under real pressure. Mental armor isn't about pretending things don't hurt. It's about taking the hit and standing anyway. It's about facing rejection, criticism, failure, and still saying, that won't define me. Every time you push through pain, every time you silence the excuses, every time you face fear and keep moving forward, you add another layer to that armor. And eventually, that armor becomes unbreakable. But here's the kicker. You have to build it intentionally. You don't stumble into a strong mind. You build it the same way you build a strong body. Through reps, through resistance, through relentless pressure. People think resilience is some natural gift. It's not. It's earned. You earn it when you wake up and do the workout even when you're exhausted. You earn it when you sit down and put in the work even when no one is watching. You earn it when life smashes you in the face, and instead of crying about it, you use it as fuel to push harder. Most people spend their energy trying to avoid pain. That's why they never grow. They've convinced themselves that pain is the enemy. But the truth is, pain is the instructor. Pain is the test. Pain is the gym where your mind lifts the weights it needs to get stronger. Without it, you're soft. With it, you're forged. That's why the strongest minds belong to the people who've suffered the most, but refuse to let it break them. Think about it. Every warrior, every leader, every great achiever in history had one thing in common. They built mental armor through suffering. They didn't run from it. They embraced it. They took the blows life threw at them and used those blows to harden themselves. That's why they stood tall while everyone else fell. And don't get it twisted. Building mental armor doesn't mean you stop feeling fear, doubt, or pain. It means those feelings no longer control you. It means you feel fear and you still move. You feel doubt and you still act. You feel pain and you still push. Weak minds get controlled by emotion. Strong minds use emotion as fuel. That's the difference. Every insult someone throws at you, add it to the armor. Every failure, add it to the armor. Every rejection, every doubt, every scar, add it to the armor. Stop treating these things as signs you should quit and start treating them as materials to make you tougher. That's how you build a mind that can't be broken. And here's the hard truth. Nobody is coming to build it for you. Nobody's going to hand you resilience. Nobody is going to install toughness in your head. You've got to build it yourself. You've got to choose every single day to face what makes you uncomfortable. You've got to put yourself in situations that test you, challenge you, break you down, and force you to rebuild stronger. That's how armor is made. Layer by layer, strike by strike, repetition by repetition. The reason so many people stay weak is because they keep looking for shortcuts. They want the quick fix, the hack, the easy path to a strong mind. But let me tell you straight, there is no shortcut to mental toughness. There is no hack for resilience. You earn it through suffering, through discipline, through refusing to give up when everything in you is screaming to stop. That's what mental armor is. It's not about avoiding the battle. It's about walking into the battlefield every day with scars on your body, blood in your mouth, fire in your chest, and still saying, is that all you got? That's the mindset that makes you unstoppable. That's the mindset that separates you from the crowd. That's the mindset that ensures no matter what the world throws at you, you will not break. Most people live their lives on defense. They wake up already reacting to the world, already behind, already bracing for the next hit. Their alarm goes off late. They drag themselves out of bed, check their phone, let the world fill their head with chaos before they've even taken a breath. And then they wonder why life feels like one long emergency. They're not playing to win. They're playing not to lose. And that mindset is the reason they never get anywhere. Living on offense is about flipping that script. It's about refusing to wait for life to attack you and deciding instead to attack life first. You want to know why so many people stay stuck in mediocrity? Because they keep waiting for the right time, the right opportunity, the right motivation, the right set of circumstances before they act. They've convinced themselves that someday things will line up and then they'll go after what they want. That day never comes. And while they're waiting, life is steamrolling them. Living on offense means you stop waiting. You stop asking for permission. You stop negotiating with fear, with doubt, with laziness, and you move. You don't wait for the alarm clock to drag you out of bed. You attack the day before the world even wakes up. You don't sit around hoping for discipline. You create it. You don't let problems pile up. You go hunt them down and solve them before they even get a chance to grow. That's the difference between a life of constant defense and a life lived on offense. Here's the truth. Defensive living is survival mode. Offensive living is growth mode. Survival mode keeps you breathing. Growth mode makes you thrive. And you don't get both. You either live your life putting out fires every day, or you live your life setting the fire that lights your path forward. When you live on defense, you let life decide your story. When you live on offense, you take the pen back and start writing it yourself. And it doesn't mean life suddenly gets easy. It means when obstacles show up, you're already ready for them because you've been moving forward with intent. You're not surprised when challenges come. You've been sharpening yourself every single day to meet them head on. You think David Goggins woke up every day waiting for life to be gentle with him? No. He went out and made life uncomfortable before life could make him uncomfortable. He went out and created suffering for himself before the world had a chance to hand it to him. That's what living on offense looks like. You manufacture the resistance, you chase the pain, you take control of the struggle so it never controls you. Most people spend their whole lives reacting. They react to a boss yelling at them. They react to a bill they didn't expect. They react to someone else's opinion. They react to circumstances they never prepared for. And every time they react, they lose a little more control over their own life. You want freedom. Stop reacting and start attacking. Freedom doesn't come from waiting. It comes from moving first. Living on offense is about waking up every single day with the mindset that the world is not going to dictate your story. It's about going after your goals before excuses even get a chance to whisper in your ear. It's about choosing discipline before weakness chooses you. It's about stepping onto the battlefield of life already armed, already armored, already moving forward while everyone else is still standing at the edge, scared to take the first step. And let's be real, offense is uncomfortable. Offense demands energy, demands grit, demands sacrifice. That's why so many people avoid it. It's easier to sit back, wait for things to happen, and then complain about how unfair life is. But the easy way never leads to strength. The easy way never builds greatness. The easy way never gives you power over your own destiny. That's why offense is the only way. You want to change your life. Stop playing defense with your own dreams. Stop waiting for someone to hand you motivation. Stop waiting for luck, for opportunity, for the perfect conditions. Start creating the conditions. Start forcing the change. Start moving before life has the chance to push you backward. Because every day you wait, every day you hesitate, every day you sit back on your heels, life is scoring on you. And the scoreboard doesn't lie. You're either winning or you're getting buried. Living on offense is about refusing to let the world blindside you. It's about standing up every single morning, looking at the battlefield in front of you, and saying, I'm not hiding today. I'm charging forward. It's about deciding that no matter how many hits you take, you're going to hit back harder. It's about knowing that while everyone else is waiting for something to change, you're already out there making change happen with your own two hands. That's the difference between those who stay stuck and those who rise. Offense versus defense. Passive versus active. Victim versus warrior. The world will always throw punches. But when you live on offense, you're not the one getting pummeled. You're the one dictating the fight, setting the pace, taking ground, and refusing to give it back at the end of the day. It all comes down to one brutal truth. The world will train you if you don't train yourself. If you don't build discipline, life will give you chaos. If you don't harden your mind, life will break it for you. If you don't set your own standard, the world will bury you under its weight and laugh while it does. That's the reality. We started with understanding that your mind is the battleground. Every thought, every excuse, every ounce of fear is an enemy trying to take ground from you. Then we talked about how most people live soft, letting comfort rob them of their strength before they even realize it. After that, we dug into the power of suffering on purpose, seeking the pain, running toward the resistance, because that's the only way you become unstoppable. And finally, we hit the truth about living on offense, about attacking life before it attacks you, about moving before you're ready, about owning every damn second of the day. So the choice is right here. You can keep waiting for the world to be kind. Keep waiting for someone to hand you the life you dream of. Keep waiting for motivation to magically show up. Or you can take the fight into your own hands. You can wake up tomorrow and decide, I will train my mind before this world tries to train it for me. You can harden yourself so that when life punches, you don't just take it. You smile and swing harder. Because this is what separates the weak from the strong, the lost from the found, the average from the extraordinary. The weak wait to be trained. The strong train themselves. And the extraordinary, they train so hard they end up training the world by example. So ask yourself, are you going to be trained by life? Or are you going to train life to never underestimate you again?